Good afternoon, everybody. Kevin here with Watch This with Joe and Kevin minus Joe today for episode 6 of the first season of The Sopranos. Um, I really loved the last episode, as I saw in comments on Patreon. Many of you did as well. As kind of an all-timer banger of an episode. Um, it's always risky when a show does an episode where they kind of depart for the entire episode from the main storyline in a serialized show when people are expecting follow up and continue. And it often it is really met with frustration from an audience unless it really aids the main story, and it's really done well. And this was exceptional. We only really followed three of the main characters for the most part. We followed Tony with Meadow, and then Camilla with the priest, and what was very awkward, in my opinion, for an episode on different types of intimacy. Tony cuts his hand, kind of giving the ironic use of the Christ figure in that he's a terrible person, but he's also martyring himself a little bit for the sake of his family. As Camilla confesses to the priest that she's really, she shouldn't be, but she's really enjoying the things like the money and the lifestyle that she's getting from all of the evil deeds that Tony's doing. And we've all seen those kind of episodes where it's like, tune in next week, the reality show that's like, we'll be back after the next three breaks to tell you the answer. Um, so stay tuned. Um, I think a show that really did this badly, because the audience will often take that as like being messed with by the showrunners and the writers. It's like, oh, you know that this next step is what we want, so you're going to tease it and then make us sit and wait forever with that. And I think the show that sticks out to me the most, and probably a lot of other people, as far as you mess with the audience one too many times to where they just stop coming back because they know that you're just there to kind of you're milking the manipulation, is The Walking Dead, an AMC show, which I really liked early on, and I jumped off the wagon like almost everybody did, simply because they would do these departures a lot, or they would make these cliffhangers that were ridiculous, and people were expected to get resolution, and it's like, well, you'll get the resolution next season, or well, we're going to slip in this filler episode. And this definitely wasn't that. This was incredibly well done, and it served the story really well in terms of getting to know the characters better. Right, we really got to understand the relationship between Tony and Meadow, and by extension, we really got a lot of the relationship between Tony and Camilla. Right, like the level of compromise, and there's a lot of distrust there on Camilla's part. Is there? Obviously, we know there should be. He called Irina, I think was her name, his side lady. Um, so we know that there are issues there, but we also have Camilla struggling herself with the life that she's decided to live, which means she isn't inherently a bad person. She just married one, and she had good reasons to do it. He is financial security personified, which you can't really falter. I mean, this is a largely a story about the perversion of the American dream, right? So you can't really falter for trying to find her way to the top. Um, through whatever means she could, and that was it for her. I'm interested. Obviously, I want to get back to the main storyline. Largely, I'm kind of curious where we leave off with Junior being in charge now, and Tony kind of reaping the benefits of that by like not being the one under scrutiny, but being the one to kind of benefit from that and making more money without having the same type level of risk that Junior probably has. Junior is not aware that he's kind of a symbolic figurehead because he just wants the title. If I had to venture a guess, I would say Junior's going to find out and figure out that he's in that position, and I would not be surprised at all if it's Lydia that tells him, because she seems to be, through wanting to get her own agenda across, pushing all of Junior's correct buttons, which makes me think that that's probably been her life. Right? She's pushing Tony's buttons to get him to do what he wants. She doesn't know how to handle the fact that it didn't work as far as her going to the retirement home. She's pushed Junior's buttons to get Brendan killed, but spare Christopher. And I'm assuming that that's how she lived her life with Tony's father, her husband, by pushing his buttons and getting her way all of the time. I think she is a master manipulator, and that is 90% of Tony's problem. Is that well, that's not fair. Tony's a criminal, but I think a lot of his problems are that his mother is probably an incredibly selfish person who is used to being able to manipulate people in power to get her way, meaning where's the real power lie? And it seems to be largely with her. Kind of like I do with the West Wing, because they have so many guest stars. I'm not ever at any point reading the opening credits because I'm not sure if they do guest starring, but I would assume in what is it, 6 or 7 seasons of this show that we bring other characters in, right? We have to, and I like being surprised when I see actors I like kind of popping up in other things. I have no idea who might in this. Maybe it's no one I know, but this show becomes such a massive hit. I'd be really surprised if there weren't some recognizable people, at least to me, who loves good character work. To see some character actors I really like pop up in this show.
Oh, and by the way, your Dr. Melfi has excellent taste. She only shops at the fancy schmancy deli.
God, this guy sucks.
I figure this girl's some Gomarier, so I scare him a little. What's the big deal?
Buy yourself an iron.
God, the guy is pretty schlubby.
Decaf, right?
Was he starting to take a real interest? Because he got in trouble with Camilla at the end of the last episode over having a female therapist.
Can you believe it? She's jealous of you.
Is that something that you feel, or has there been some discussion with Carmela? Why a female? Why a female doctor?
You know, she asks the same friggin' question.
What's the one thing every woman, your mother, your wife, your daughter have in common?
They stress him out. Yeah.
Maybe by coming clean with me, you're dialoguing with them.
Why do you have me as a patient?
Are we not going to get an answer to that? At least not yet.
How's Junior?
Whoa.
Are you paying someone for this game? Huh?
So this is how Junior's going to run things?
Junior Soprano is the new boss, and he ain't respecting old arrangements.
So how's your, what's your oldest boy's name?
He lost his son, you know.
What do you mean, lost?
Dead.
The kid, he took one of those designer drugs, right? Goes to the falls, takes a header right off the fence.
Yeah, the guy's grandfather's right there, man.
He gets to walk the streets and sell more of this stuff to young kids.
Oh,
Is Junior going to kill a drug dealer?
Morning.
Yeah, hi.
New arrival?
Go ahead, keep moving, fella.
Is Junior hitting on her? It wouldn't surprise me. It's all part of his jealousy at his brother.
Just don't let certain people take advantage of your good nature like they did to Johnny. How's your Jewish friend?
Hesh? What about him?
So she's playing with his jealousy and insecurity,
Are you telling
too.
me that since I'm the new boss, I should tax Hesh?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
she is terrible.
Clabby?
Arts. Jump in, water's warm.
Is Tony going to get mixed up in Junior kind of rewriting the rules? Well, definitely with Hesh, for sure. I meant with the first poker game.
What'd he do?
He's texting me, Tony.
He's taxing you.
I don't know if I can stay in this area.
Oh, yeah? Where you gonna go?
Hey, come on, Tatala. I can sit on my royalty checks.
How much does he want?
500 large, plus 2 points monthly on my shot.
It's a lot of money.
All right. Do me a favor, sit tight for now.
Lydia is causing all kinds of problems. And Junior's an easy mark.
First of all, Junior can't know that we talked. He's got to think that Hesh came to you on his own, by himself. I gotta get back. We'll talk later.
He's on a date with his wife. It's our anniversary.
Maybe you'd like to spend the rest of our anniversary with him.
Not to be overly on Tony's side here, but he was working for 10 minutes. It happens to people sometimes. It's not a crazy job.
I'm sorry, Carmela. Huh? I just got a lot on my mind, and I'm not thinking straight.
You've changed, Tony, and I resent it. I resent it because it's destroying what little self-esteem I have left.
You knew this might happen with the Prozac.
Ginny Torelli has been on it for years, and
Oh, okay. I was wondering what the issue was here.
It's not appropriate of me to take gifts.
It's a cup of coffee.
Let's just make a rule. Oh, I'm sorry. I usually have my answering service on when I have a patient, but I have a car emergency.
Is he gonna fix her car emergency like he did the teacher?
I'm having a,
Reaction?
a side effect.
They have a hard time getting or maintaining.
Bingo.
When's the last time you had a prostate exam?
Hey, I don't even let anybody wag their finger in my face.
I bought some furniture.
Why don't we just move into Roche Beaubois? Save the delivery charge.
That is a conversation that a married couple should have. That's probably a lot of money.
Hesh isn't only a friend of you guys. He's a friend of ours.
Frankly, I'm a little hurt. You should have come to me first, airing your dirty laundry in public.
They all have to pretend that this is all in in deference to Junior.
I'd say 1.5 on the shy business and 300 on the back tax.
250.
But I'm saying maybe you could wear a nice, business-like outfit.
Oh my God, he wants her to dress like Dr. Melfi. That's funny.
Come here.
This relationship is so weird
Is
to me.
everybody in my life bananas or what? So I suggest to her that maybe she dress a little different.
He's crossing into. Yeah, don't.
Like you.
How like
There
me?
we go. Yeah, this is crossing the line.
Till Tuesday.
Yeah. She did a really good job just kind of shutting that down without, like, attacking him. Not that she would have been wrong to, but she handled that really well, I feel like.
But this morning, I get in and it starts right up. And then again at the deli.
Oh, it was Tony. I thought it was the cop. Oh, this is the drug dealer.
Now listen.
Wow. Oh my God, they're witnesses.
Jump.
We all agreed to let Junior have his day. Let him be the lightning rod.
But your uncle, Maron, does he eat alone? He doesn't even pass the salt.
All we want you to do is talk to him. After all, he's your uncle.
I mean, the drug dealer he killed was the right guy.
That's enough water. How much water does she need? I'm living next door to Gunga Din.
Oh, by the way, Gunga Din's one of my favorite poems. Kipling.
You got his ear. He listens to you.
I don't want to get involved.
She doesn't want to get involved. That's all she is involved.
But I think if Tony would get more involved with the church, it may help to
So he's
expedite
back on
things in his
this.
therapy.
I couldn't give him what he needed all the time.
You practically welcomed it.
Oh, so he's putting this on her. I don't like this guy.
You're not without sin in this, Carmela.
Did you steal my car and have it fixed?
I love you.
Anthony.
I'm in love with you.
This took a much faster leap than I thought.
But you're only feeling this way because we've made such progress. You've made me all of the things you feel are missing in your wife.
He's really good.
You don't love me.
That's, again, I'm not trained. I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I feel like this whole episode, she's really handled this aspect of him really well.
Octavian became Augustus. He shared his wealth, and all his people loved him.
Are you okay? You've been acting mezzamorta lately.
I don't know where we go with these two.
Your uncle may turn out to be the right man for the job.
A lot of symbolism with animals
nice
on the show.
So Junior whacked up my money and kind of spread it around, huh?
Yeah. Still, I wish it wasn't your money. Here's my share. You think I'm gonna profit off
Is that
your
what that
tax?
was?
Dr. Melfi. There's nothing there, you know.
You don't have to explain nothing, Tony.
You weren't lying before, but now you're lying. Oh, so the priest got in her head.
I was jealous of her ability to help you. I want to be that woman in your life.
You're my life.
I mean, she can't unburden him of all of his psychological trauma and damage. You need someone who knows what they're doing to do that.
Okay. Taught me as much as anybody. Salute.
Oh.
To Junior.
I was wondering if at some point you were going to have the feds kind of watching. So Tony's plan to put the heat on Junior actually worked. I'm not sure what capo means. I'm sure I'll figure it out, or someone will let me know. Interesting. I wonder how much we're going to get of that, the surveillance from the FBI on the show. Like, are we going to have a lot of conversation among them? Is there going to be a case that builds against Junior and against Tony? Is that how The Sopranos ends? You know, does the ambiguous ending mean that I know is coming? Is it Tony possibly going to prison? Does he get arrested? We don't really know. You know how a trial goes or whatever. But I mean, it makes sense that we're going to get law enforcement involved here because Tony Soprano is in the mob. And it kind of seems like, when you look at the history of mob movies and TV shows and the way it's kind of just described, again, that's not reality. I understand that, but it seems to be like the idea that the FBI over the decades kind of got smarter about how it tracked and prosecuted these mob cases, right? The RICO laws and all of that stuff that kind of came to be, which I'm really excited to see how that plays into this. Tony's mother, Lydia, is something. She seems to be the one that's, again, I kind of mentioned before the show started, this episode started. She's kind of seems to be the one that's pulling the strings on a lot of this conflict, right? We never would have gotten to the point with Hesh and Junior in conflict if she hadn't made the suggestion that he be taxed. So, I mean, Junior called her out on it. Junior's not as dumb as it sometimes seems that he is. He knew what she was doing. I give him credit for that, for knowing that you're doing this to get back at Tony. You're really upset that he's put you here, so this is retribution and payback. And then with her, I don't know what you're talking about. She is passive aggressive, insincere, and cunning, unscrupulous. She is unscrupled. And I don't know how her story plays out either. But I think this is only the beginning of the headaches that she's going to cause for Tony, and I would not be surprised at all if a rift grows between Tony and Junior moving forward, and she's the wedge that causes it very intentionally. Tony went to see her to ask her to kind of help make the peace. I don't know if she did. It seems more like Tony and the other guys kind of took the reins on doing that. But I guess we'll kind of see moving forward where she goes with all of that. And I'm kind of curious how Tony's relationship with Dr. Melfi is going to be going forward after his completely misplaced professions of love. And again, I said it during the show. I just want to point out, I'm no psychiatrist, but I think she handled that really well. I think everything she said was right. She shut it down. She didn't do it cruelly. She let him know that these are misplaced feelings that have a lot more to do with the role that she's filling in his life, rather than him actually being in love with her. I'm sure the fact that she's an attractive woman doesn't help, at all in this situation. But you know what? She looks like what she looks like, and he's going to have to be an adult and deal with that. All right, and we'll catch you on the next one, guys.